What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. I'm here with another video. It is July 1st, halfway through the year. Thought I'd give you guys an update on the journey. I came back to one of my original spots here in TO that I used to come to when I started this journey, when golf courses were shut down, and I would just come and look at the golf course here because I was just praying that we could get out there and start playing. And so I thought this was a perfect spot to come do a bit of an update and let you guys in on what's going on, where things are at with the journey, and what's happening. So the first thing is I want to thank all of you that have commented, reached out, DM me on Instagram, you know, just checking in, seeing like, hey, where are the videos? When I started this channel and kind of started this challenge for myself, I never really had any expectation that like anybody would care. And so the fact that I get messages from you guys still and checking in, being like, hey, what's going on? Like, how are things going? It just means a lot to me, and I really appreciate that because, again, like, I didn't really anticipate anybody caring about anything I did or any of this. And, you know, you guys have been very, very kind, and I just appreciate that this channel and my content, like, matters enough that you guys miss it. So I apologize that I don't make enough content, but I really do appreciate you guys reaching out and just checking in. So thank you very much for that. That does mean a lot to me. So what's going on? What's happening? Like what's going on? Okay, so if you guys saw my January 1st video for 2022 of like my ethos for the whole year, which is good golf solves everything, right? The golf dream's still very much alive, still very much kicking. I have been absolutely relentless in my training. If you guys saw my kind of daily vlog series that I did in like December of 2021, I've been maintaining like that schedule of basically working out and practicing every single day. What has suffered is the content because I'm juggling my full-time job with it. But in terms of the goal, the dream, the focus, could not be more on track with everything going on. I have completely changed my body as a result of doing all these workouts. I've doubled down even harder now, actually, even on the fitness, because I've just noticed it's just like the strength and being able to rotate. It's a lot to get to, I guess, a pro level swing and the level at which I want to compete at. And again, I have a lot of power in the tank. I swing faster than the majority of people. And in order to control that requires just a different strength profile. And it's just taken a lot more time than I anticipated to get there, but I'm really excited with where my body's at. It's probably the best shape I've probably ever been in my life. I was in pretty good shape in my early 20s, but where my body's at and actually just my overall physical health is night and day from when I started this journey. And it's been a good kind of happy consequence of doing this is my physical health has never been better. So I'm pretty pumped about that. I'm pretty pumped about how I feel, and just I'm starting to get some of that springiness back. You know, when you're a kid and you can just kind of bounce off the walls and your body can, you know, you can just jump and do things. I've spent a lot of time getting some of that athleticism back, you know, just being bouncy and agile. And yeah, so long and the short is I have been absolutely nonstop with the physical fitness and the swing training. It just takes incremental improvements every single day. It's that 1% better every single day. And I've just learned from doing this now for so long that there's only so much progress I can make in a day, but the cumulative progress of doing this every day for 6 months is massive. Here are some swings from just some recent range sessions for you guys to see. The difference from where I was even in December to now is astronomical. So from like a swing mechanics and improvement standpoint, this is like the best my swing has ever been, ever, which is, again, really exciting and encouraging. Coach Max is very excited. I think it's just a different level. Even I now have such a better understanding of like what the swing is, what the swing entails. Just more reps of that, and I feel like my knowledge of the game is better. My knowledge of what my swing needs to be competitive. And now I just have better understanding of why you know, golf was difficult for me and why I was making mistakes and not being able to pull off shots, and why under pressure my swing was just horrible. Like, I didn't have a lot of good built-in mechanics, good built-in strength. And I just wasn't straight up good enough. Definitely understand that even more now. I just did not have what it took, especially last year. I did not have it. But I'm really excited and pumped about the work I've done. And I have been relentless. And, there have been a lot of tough days. And, there have been a lot of days showing up to practice where I didn't know where the ball was going. I didn't know if this was all going to add up to anything worthwhile. And that's been a bit of a struggle. But the swing where it currently sits, is objectively a good swing. And I think that's the first time I'm able to say that and know it. There have been other times throughout this journey where I thought I was further along the path than I was. I think this time I finally have a grasp that I am truly making the right progress. I have the right things in my game, and I actually have a swing that is on track to being actually competitive for the first time. So now when it comes to tournaments moving forward, what's the plan for all that? What's the next evolution of the journey? As of right now, there are no tournaments planned for a couple of reasons. One is straight up money. This golf dream and this golf thing is very expensive. And there's weird costs in funny ways that I didn't anticipate. For example, extra supplements and food required to, live like an athlete now. The amount of gloves I go through, balls, just golf memberships. There's just an incredible amount of expenses. And quite frankly, I don't think my game right now is at a spot where paying money for tournaments would get me any ROI. I know what tournaments expect of me now. I know what I need to do to get to being what I know will win those tournaments. And I went and caddied for my coach in a pro event. I got to go see the RBC Canadian Open and got to see PGA Tour players hit. And, one of the things that helped me in music was getting to see what the finish line looked like of who I was up against and reverse engineering it from there. I've never had a more clear picture of what I need to do to get to where I need to go. And I've spent the majority of this year so far relentlessly pursuing that in my training and in my practice. And I need more time. I could put myself in those situations, and maybe if I had, unlimited capital where I could kind of make a go at this really full time, I would maybe accelerate that process and jump into tournaments earlier. But right now I simply just can't afford to play tournaments for the sake of them. Also with my job, some of my clients, especially some of the higher profile clients like labels and such, projects can be very last minute. And if I'm not available in certain windows, I can lose these opportunities. And I need those opportunities in order to put together the funds to make the real run at this. I know I still need the time to get better right now, so I'm okay with maybe taking a bit of a back seat on leapfrogging certain steps in order to be militant on making sure I check the right boxes now, because going into the fall and into the winter, there's opportunities to play winter tournaments again. Hopefully this year the weather doesn't kind of kill us like it did last year, but I should be able to play those events. Also, there's a ton of really, really good high-level players in BC who are closer to the city, about 45 minutes to an hour away from me. I want to have cash to be able to take 1 to 2 days a week and drive out there and pay the green fee to play with some of these better players and be around that kind of osmosis of better golfers. And all that just takes more cash and more capital. And quite frankly, right now, again, I don't feel like tournaments would really do anything other than dig a financial hole for me. It's more important for me to get to a point where I 100% know what I'm doing and how to execute. That's exactly how I am in music. And I know I'm on the path now to getting there with golf. So I'm okay to take this extra time to build that and build this the right way so that I don't, start playing events and then, there's nothing I hate more than having to play an event and then come out of it and be like, I don't know what happened. It's like, no, you know what happened if you've put in the work, right? Knowing what I know now, last year, I understand 100% why none of those events worked out for me. I did not have the technical capabilities to pull off any of that. And the times I did do half decent, it just meant that I was getting away with it that day. So I'm putting all the right things in play now in order to make this happen. Unfortunately, it just costs a ton to do it. Golf is so expensive. And even, for the YouTube side of things, I would love to make more content, but I need to dedicate those 4 to 8 hours after filming, instead of editing, I have to dedicate that to my job. And so I prioritize training and I prioritize getting better over content. But what I'm hoping too is that through kind of grinding on music and continue to, you know, improve in the meantime, come the fall, as my game starts to really get into the spot I envision, I should be able to take on an editor to help create more content and create more videos around what I'm doing and start to build this up the right way. So all in all, thank you guys so much for being patient with me and just following along. The fact that you guys DM me and take the time, I really, really appreciate that. So I'm excited to continue this journey. I love this. I'm so excited. You know, I really feel like I'm on the right path now, and I've just been nonstop on putting in the right work to make it happen. So stay tuned, guys. There is more coming. I appreciate your patience. And I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.